Ozymandias by Percy Shelley. I met a traveller from an antique land, who said two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert; near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown, and wrinkled lip, and sneer of cold command, tell that its sculptor, whose passions which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things the hand that mocked them, the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear: My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing besides remains round the decay of that colossal wreck. Boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away. Percy Shelley was born August 1792, died July 1822. He is hailed as the most prolific lyric poet in the English language. He was a romantic poet. It was definitely considered that his poetry was fairly radical. Also, his social views were considered radical during his time. He really never gained a whole lot of notoriety for his poetry during his lifetime. That would not come until after he had died, and, well, to put it in a more fair and beautiful way, he shedded off the moral coil. Although, personally, I like to go with the saying, he went the way of the dodo. He was part of a very close key group of visionary poets and writers. Those included Lord Byron, Leigh Hunt, Thomas Love Peacock, and of course his own second wife, Mary Shelley, who became the author of Frankenstein. His best known poems are Ozymandias, Ode to the West Wind, To a Skylark, Music When Soft Voices Die, The Cloud, and The Mask of Anarchy. He has had other works, including long visionary poems such as Queen Mab, which was later reworked as Damon of the World. His close circle of admirers, however, includes some progressive thinkers of the day, which also include his future father-in-law. I guess it's pretty good that his father-in-law did like his work, and that's the philosopher William Godwin. Though Shelley's poetry and prose output remained steady throughout his life, most publishers and journals declined to publish his work for fear of being arrested themselves under blasphemy or sedition. Again, Shelley did not really get to see the success and influence in his lifetime. It did become very, very present in a lot of major movements, both artistically and socially. And he was admired by Oscar Wilde. If you get admired by Oscar Wilde, that is something cool. That is something awesome. To have somebody as outlandish and just wonderful as Wilde was, sit up and take notice of your work and say that, that he admires what you've done. But you've hit the big time. So, how is Ozymandias interpreted? Spark Notes for most famous poem, which is somewhat strange considering in many ways was an atypical poem for Shelley. And it touches little upon the most important themes in his overage at large: beauty, expression, love, imagination. Still, Ozymandias is a masterful sonnet, especially in its devoted single metaphor, the shattered, ruined statue in the desert wasteland with the arrogant, passionate face and megalomaniacal inscription, Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. This once great king's proud boast has been ironically disproven. Ozymandias' works have crumbled and disappeared, and his civilization is gone. All is turned to dust by the impersonal, indiscriminate, destructive power of history. However, Kathy Waldman, who is an associate editor at Slate, also made a little comparison between Ozymandias and Breaking Bad, actually based upon the episode of Breaking Bad, Ozymandias. To which she reported that Breaking Bad goes together with Ozymandias like indifferent and red phosphorus. Ooh. Both center on figures of passive, megalomaniacal ambition. Both explored the weirdly seductive, or at least commanding nature of evil, especially as pitted against a more impersonal but equally violent power, time. I couldn't go ahead and do interpretations without looking on one of my most favorite mediums of all time and one of my favorite comic book authors of all time. A research paper done by Matthew Wolf Meyer, The World Ozymandias Made, Utopias in Superhero Comics, Subculture, and Conservative Indifference. And he goes through and mentions how Veidt's his choice of Ozymandias, which he picked from Shelley's poem, was prophetic. Not only did Veidt create a huge empire financially, he quite literally created a new world, a new beginning for humanity. Destruction of, and the thought was he'd create a new utopia undone by Rorschach. Rorschach had instead left his journal with the new patriot. So what does it really say? It says that undoubtedly his utopia fell. It fell apart. It's gone. It's just simply destroyed.